Welcome to Milk Market Tidbit for the April cold storage report that USDA released on Friday afternoon. This is Dr. Lawrence Jones, and I'm recording this on Saturday morning, May 25th. So as we know, the cold storage report is the second report that comes out that kind of defines how April production all comes together, and we're going to get the dairy products report here at the end of the month. But what I wanted to do is give you a little bit of a background as to what we've been seeing here for the last month. And so when we look at the ratio of different cheeses, these are slides out of my Sunday podcast, we actually had an increase of Italian cheese compared to everything else. And that kind of made sense because we were seeing a bit of exports, and Italian cheese is a good one to export. And for the month of March, we saw an increase in exports. Now, normally we're 6.5 or so. We're up to 8.9% of the production. And that was consistent with about a 28 million pound additional export. And again, cheese price during the month of March was $1.61. This is a graph where I plot together all of my different cheese prices with the green being global dairy trade, the red being the spot, and the blue being national dairy sales report. The black dots are any time when there is a possibility for export because of the price difference. And for the month of April, $1.55 with $1.88 on global dairy trade would seem like we ought to be exporting more cheese in April than normal. So what actually turned out in this report? On the top, we have where we were prior to the report. So last month, we were 1.459. They lowered that to 1.454. So that was the first revision that they did. I thought we'd actually decrease a little bit. We actually increased. And so we ended up the month about where we were originally, so 1.459. So compared to the typical number, I would actually say we were up about 5 million pounds. They actually raised butter just a little bit, but the increase was significant this month. So we just plot these out because I always like to look at the big picture once the revisions are put in. This is the overall cheese stocks. I've been arguing that these have been more or less flat. Now there's a little bit of bobbling around here. But, we have not seen a significant change in cheese stocks since about 2019. And we look at just American stocks, the same sort of thing has happened, very flat. So is that because we have a shortage of available cold storage? I'm not sure. And other stocks, if we look at it the same way, actually came down just a little bit, but that's consistent with, good exports of Italian and some of these sorts of things. So overall, the cheese stocks probably came in a bit heavier than we thought that they were going to be, but they were pretty consistent with where they've been for the last 4 years. Butter stocks are continuing to grow. We don't see that same stagnation. And in fact, this month was actually above the seasonal trend. And so there's plenty of butter in cold stocks at this point. And one might suspect that this is going to continue here for another month or two when we normally peak midsummer. And some of the price action lately has been worrying about whether we can get this up to this next point before we go into the holiday season. But right now, it looks like there's plenty of cream and butter around. So we got the cold storage report on Friday. Monday is going to be a holiday, and then next week is not a big report at all. Maybe the egg prices on Friday. It's going to be the classic component numbers on the 5th that will kind of give us our next dump of data, and the dairy products report on the same day on the 5th. All right, that's it for me, and I'll get you another report probably in about 2 weeks.